Last time I spoke about shame and guilt. Generally speaking, shame is a characteristic of primitive and traditional societies, and Korean culture tends to be shame based. Guilt is a characteristic of modern and Western societies. Shame is communal, guilt is individualistic. I'm not saying that guilt is better than shame. I'm not saying that modern individualism is better than traditional communal society. They're just different, and they have different consequences and effects. More about shame. The opposite of shame is honor. I think of honor as like merit badges, ribbons, and medals you get in Boy Scouts or Girl Scouts. The more things you do, the more badges, medals, and ribbons you get. You get publicly recognized and awarded these things in a public ceremony. And when you wear your uniform publicly, you wear it on your body for all to see. Your rank and your accomplishments and your ribbons across your chest in obvious places for all to see. So no one's mistaken about what you've done. It's kind of like showing off. Now, let me make an obvious observation. You don't wear your ribbons on the inside of your uniform. You wear it on the outside. It's public. That's a point. And you don't wear your uniform or all your medals at home if you're all by yourself, all alone. The very point of these honors are that other people have to look at you. That's the point. If you don't get public recognition for what you've done, then it's not really an honor. Now, shame is the opposite of honor. Now, I want you to imagine a number scale. 0 in the middle, plus 10 on one end, and negative 10 on the other end. Shame is losing your honor. You are exposed for doing something scandalous to the public. You lied, you cheated, you went bankrupt, you lost your job, your spouse abandoned you, your kids have completely gone off the deep end and done terrible things. And if people find out what you did or what happened to you or what happened around you, what happened in your circumstances, you go from like plus 10 to like negative 10. You go from being the black with honor to being the red with shame. And the only way to go from being the red and getting back to neutral and from neutral to getting to the black is to restore your reputation. And you restore your reputation by working and achieving and accomplishing. And again, all the honor stuff needs to be done in the eyes of the public. You need public recognition for what you've done, and thus it is an honor. Now, honor is this thing, like your merit badges, your ribbons, your awards, your certificates. It has to be protected. It's fragile. It's vulnerable. And we live in a delicate balance between honor and shame. Always in this kind of perpetual anxiety and fear that honor can always slip away at any given moment. So we have to vigilantly fight to gain honor and protect the honor that we have. Another thing about honor and shame, it's inheritable, and it's part of the family as well. If your parents have honor, then you, to some extent, inherit their honor, or you can coast on their honor for a bit. Or actually, eventually, there's going to be pressure on you to live up to the honor that your parents have maintained. Or you can actually inherit the shame of your parents. If your parents have done something terrible, even if it's got nothing to do with you, not your fault. All right? You bear the shame of your family and your parents and those who came before you. It's like dirt or slime, like tar that's stuck on you. And even after they're dead, in a traditional society of honor and shame, it's up to you to restore the honor of your parents or the honor of your family by making amends for what they've done or achieving something great on your own. And thus, not only do you elevate yourself with honor, you're elevating your dead parents and all your dead relatives. You're actually elevating all the children that you haven't even had yet. It's not exactly dishonor, but it's something analogous. There was a generation, or rather there is a generation of Korean immigrants who came to the US and they lived really hard lives. You know, this classic story. They opened up stores in the cities. Their entire lives were one of downward mobility. I mean, some of them made a lot of money, but it wasn't great work or it wasn't honorable work, the kind we brag about. So why did they do it? Well, the standard answer is always, it was for the kids. Like, we will live lives of deprivation so that our kids can live a better life. We're deferring our pleasure, our honor, for the kids' pleasure, their good lives, their honor. And so the first generation works really, really hard, living hard lives that aren't great. And so in return, the children have to study hard, go to great colleges. and get the right sort of honorable jobs and live honorable, respectable lives. Well, why? Well, these things are just good. Who doesn't want to go to a great college, get a great job, make money, and live in a nice house and nice burbs? That's always good. No one wouldn't want those things. We all want those things. But in our Korean American context, there's a little bit more going on. It's a bit more complicated. The second generation person is not just living for him or herself to live a good life for him or herself. You're making up for what your parents have lost. You're gaining the honor, not just for yourself, but in some ways you're redeeming the shame of the previous generation. And that's a lot of pressure. So guilt, shame, and now honor. Does this affect the way we Korean Americans experience our Christian faith? Yeah, I think so. But more on that next time.